Hey guys, Sir West of Ash here, and I'm going to show you a quick video on how to get the GameCube controller adapter to work in Cemu emulator. This works for emulator version 1.11.3. So here's an Amazon photo or website link. The official GameCube adapter is now $90. I have a previous video where I did version 1.7.3D, and the official one was more like 20 bucks. In my opinion, it will be easier if you don't already have an adapter to buy the Mayflash version, which is this one right here. It's only 18 bucks brand new, but it's got native support in Cemu, so you don't have to go through all this complicated stuff I'm about to show you. That being said, it's really not that complicated. If you just follow this video along the instructions, you'll be able to do it no problem, and it should be super simple. But yes, on the unofficial GameCube adapter for the Wii U, the Mayflash one, there's a simple switch on the back right here where my mouse is, where you can switch the adapter from Wii U mode to PC mode. And to get that to work on Cemu, you just have to have it in PC mode, and it will automatically detect your controller inputs. So on that note, I'm going to go back to talking about the official GameCube adapter for Wii U. It's right here, and I'll bring this up real quick. Hold on one second. You need to download this Wii U GameCube USB driver for Windows. This supports Windows XP, Vista 7, 8, and 8.1, as well as 10. There's going to be a link in the description below. The latest version for this driver is 3.2.1, and there's an executable you can find on the links site right here. If you click that, it'll immediately start the download for the driver. Now, once you have the driver, go to your start menu and type in GCN for GameCube. It'll pop up right here. And when you start it up, it'll look like this. This stuff will not be here. It will be blank. So before you do anything, you need to make sure that the driver and the adapter are working correctly. And for that to happen, the adapter driver, which is up here, this program you're using, has to be properly started. So all you got to do is go to start and click the button, and then you should see a loop or a string of text that says these things right here: starting driver, and then the 4 ports will be detected, which shows that your controllers are working, and your settings, if you change anything, configuration will be saved. If there's a problem, mine says driver successfully started, entering input loop. If there's a problem, it will say driver is not started, or driver was unsuccessful to launch, or something along those lines. In which case, send me a comment and I'll try to troubleshoot and help you through it. But once you get it started and everything's working like this properly and it says driver is successfully started, all you need to do is go to Cemu and then go to options and go to input settings, and I'm using my GameCube controller right now. And you'll see 3 things that you need to pay attention to. Make sure you're on direct input, number 1. Number 2, you'll see Mayflash Wiimote PC adapter. Do not select that option. Go down to VJoy device. That is what you will see. Choose the first option, that is port 1 for your adapter, and so on and so forth. So this will be controller 2, controller 3, controller 4. So I'm already on controller 1, and I'm going to hit the A button, and the B, the X, the Y, the left, the right. Now here's something that GameCube controllers don't have, is there are not 2 trigger buttons. This is a little bit of a flaw when you're using a GameCube controller on certain games. What I typically do is I'll set Z left to like a button on my keyboard, let's say 0 on the numpad. And then Z right, well, that can be the blue Z button on the GameCube controller. And then plus, I usually make that start, and then we have another button that the GameCube controller doesn't have, and you can make that anything you want on your keyboard. So I'm going to make it 2 on the numpad. And then here's one more button the GameCube controller doesn't have, is the analog sticks do not have a click option on the GameCube controller. So again, you'll have to set a button on your keyboard or your mouse or whatever. But then you can do up, down, left, right, and then you can do another option, and then you can do up on the C stick, and you can do down, left, right, and then D-pad, up, down, left, right, and then For the dead zone, I always try to make it about 10% or 20%, somewhere in that range, because otherwise you won't be able to use the analog sticks to slightly make your character, run but not completely sprint. So I do that, and then I set the range to 200%, so 10% or 20, whatever you feel like. And then I'll save GameCube controller, and I'll hit save. And then in the future, if I want to make like 8 controllers or 4 controllers or whatever, I can just go down here and go to GameCube controller and load. And then player 4 now has the proper controls that I have for my controller. And that is how you get the official GameCube adapter working. Now, as far as the installation of this driver, I'm going to show you a quick rundown of how the installation works. I'm going to close this real quick. I'm going to hit stop before I close it, and then I'm going to exit out. All right, so after I save this file, it'll be on my desktop right up here. I run the executable, and it'll pop up here in a second. There we go. Choose next, 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 and install. I'm not going to do this because I already have it installed and I don't want to mess anything up. So I'm going to hit cancel. Yes, I want to exit the setup. But if you go down here on that website, you can hit display install instructions. So basically I just went through all of this right here, all the way up to the install button. This is step 6. So it will install that driver you saw, the GCN driver. And at the same time, it needs to install another program down here called Zadig. And what Zadig does is it replaces your USB driver if it installed the default native one when you plugged in your GameCube adapter. So just follow these instructions on this website. There are pictures. It's pretty easy to follow. And it'll install the new driver for the GameCube adapter. And then when you're done with Zadig, make sure you're selecting the driver to replace will be WUP-028. Click yes. It may ask you, do you want to replace this system driver? Just hit yes. Nothing is affected once you do this. And then another installation will happen. It will ask you if you want to install VJoy. Now, if you noticed in Cemu, when we go to the options and input settings menu, the thing you're selecting is actually VJoy. So that is what allows it to work. You need both VJoy and this GameCube adapter program. So make sure you install both of them. And it's very simple. Just leave the default selection and hit next, 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 install, finish, and then you're good to go. If you have Windows 8, there are additional instructions. Just scroll down on the website and you'll be able to see them. That is basically it. I'll show another little snippet here. I have both the official and the unofficial adapters for the Wii U GameCube controller setup. So I'm going to plug this one in now, and I'm going to show you how intuitive and native this is so that you aren't confused if you have one at home. So give me 1 second. Let me plug that in. Alright, so it's plugged in now, and I'm going to unplug my controller from the other one and plug it into this one. So as far as the nativeness, like I said in Cemu, once it's plugged in, all you got to do is go up here, make sure you're selecting direct input, and then you'll see, let's do refresh, give it a second, it should work. Alright, so this is the confusing part if you have two of these adapters. The official GameCube adapter is using 8 slots. It's using 4 VJoy slots, which are the ones that work. And then it's detected by Cemu as Mayflash Wiimote PC adapter, but those 4 options do not work. So ignore those if you're using 2 adapters, which most of you probably aren't. But ignore the first 4 and use VJoy if you're using the official adapter. Now, if you're using the unofficial adapter, which is called the Mayflash GameCube controller adapter, it will have capital Mayflash. You just select that, and then you go down and you hit A, B, X, Y, left, right, Z, all that stuff. So it works intuitively and natively. That is how you set up the GameCube controller on the Wii U emulator Cemu. So if you guys have any questions, this is on version 1.11.3. Feel free to leave a comment, like, or dislike on the video. Give me some feedback, and I will make more videos in the future. Thank you very much.